Hello to everyone on this beautiful day or evening or morning as it may be for you. My name is David Zemach-Bersin, and today's class is our introductory class to our upcoming program on improving your balance, your stability, and equilibrium. In fact, in this introductory class, I am optimistic that you will all feel an improvement just from today's lesson. And no matter your age, whether you're 20 or 80, I believe that you have a brain that is fully capable of change and improvement. And so a very important point that I would like to make is that we are not born being able to balance ourselves. In other words, it's a learned skill. And that is a wonderful thing that it's a learned skill, because it means that we can use the inherent plasticity, the inherent ability of our brain to change, to improve balance. And that's why the Feldenkrais method, the work of Dr. Moshe Feldenkrais, is so valuable to us, because it uses sensory information to access this neuroplasticity of our brain. In other words, to facilitate communication between your nervous system and your body. And I think you will find today that simply by engaging your ability to attend to your sensory kinesthetic sensations, that you will begin the process of building new neural pathways for better balance. I'm aware that there may be some of you who have never encountered the Feldenkrais method before, and that's just fine. I would just say there's a very few simple ways that we create the conditions for your success. And no one is at a greater advantage or disadvantage because of experience with the method, with the Feldenkrais method, because we're using abilities that we each have. So the most important thing for me to communicate to you is that the Feldenkrais method is not a system of exercise, meaning we're not interested in repetitive, continual movement done in a mindless way. What we do mindfully, and I will guide you in that process, and I'll give you a few keynotes now, but don't worry, you don't have to write them down. One, we do the movement slowly, very slowly. We only do what is easy. We avoid any discomfort or any pain. So if you find that you feel some discomfort, make the movement smaller, make the movement slower. If you have confusion about what we're doing, then you can contact the staff members that are here for you to help you. So don't hesitate. So we make the movement slow, small, easy, and we seek to reduce the effort in what we're doing and to pause between each movement. If you feel like you want to take a longer rest, feel free to do so at any time. So let's begin you'll see, to create new pathways that serve you, and we'll do it in a very short period of time. So, of course, one thing is that often people believe things based on simply the idea that you think it works or you feel a little bit better. What I would like to do is set up today's lesson, today's class, in such a way that we do something before we begin the lesson and we come back to it at the end of the lesson. Thereby, you might feel very clearly and be able to measure your improvement. So please come to standing. And if you have any trouble with your balance, then take a chair and you can hold on to the back of the chair. And maybe we should have one person using a chair like that. So just come to stand and your feet separated about shoulder width apart. And bring your arms in front of yourself with your hands facing the floor and your wrists are relaxed. So your arms are in front of you. And now just slowly turn yourself from the middle to the left. That's right. Just slowly, and come back. And now the next time you do that, draw an imaginary line from your nose to the wall to the left of you and say, okay, this is how far I turn right now, just easily, just doing what's comfortable. And now do the same thing to the right. That's it. Your pelvis turns to the right, your chest turns to the right, your arms, your head and eyes. That's right. Just what's easy. Just easy for you right now. Beautiful. And again, next time you go, just draw that imaginary line to the wall and say, all right, this is how far I see to the right, without stretching, without trying to go further. Beautiful. And now come and please sit down for just a moment. I'd like to show you a few illustrations. So the lesson that we're going to do together today is going to be lying on your floor. If you have any issues about lying, you can lie on your bed, or you can build up some padding behind yourself if you think you'll be uncomfortable lying on the floor. And I don't mean you obviously you can lie on a rug. And let's go to the next one. I want to say something about putting padding or accessories of some sort behind your head, which a lot of people like to do. So I would prefer that you use nothing. I would prefer that you put nothing behind your head. But if you feel the need to put something, then have it be as thin as possible, as small a support as possible. And you can see here with this person that the orientation of their head, you would say, oh, that's just like when they're standing. When I'm standing, my chin is neither declined nor raised, as you can see here. And let's see the next one. Whereas with this fellow, you can see very clearly, oh, no, I wouldn't call that his head oriented like in standing. I would say his chin is very close to his throat and his breathing is restricted. The movement of his chest is restricted. And by the same token, let's see the next one. You see here, I even feel a sense of relief looking at her compared to the last illustration. All right. So you want your head to be neither uncomfortable and tilted backwards, nor too far forward. Okay. Thank you, Jennifer. So now please lie on your back on the floor. And just to begin with, stretch out your legs, please. And we're going to take a few minutes to simply, and I will guide you to simply sense and feel our contact with the floor so that we can later come back a few times and observe if there's been a change. So stretch out your legs and begin by just sensing, feeling, without evaluation, without judgment, your right foot, the angle of your right foot to the floor, the contact of your right heel with the floor, and then slowly, just only using your attention internally, feeling your right leg, the lower part of your right leg, your right calf, how your right calf makes contact with the floor. And then there's the back of your right knee. And then you move your attention up your right leg until you reach your pelvis. And now do the same thing, beginning with your left foot, your left heel, the 5 toes, the angle of your left foot. And then slowly, again, just using what we might call your internal attention. You just feel the inside of your left leg. If there's anywhere that you can just let the floor, allow the floor to support you a little more. The back of your left knee. That's right. And up your left leg to your pelvis. And again, just want to underscore that there's no idea here of evaluating yourself, judging yourself. We're just wanting to feel as we can feel ourselves now at this moment, and come back to it, be able to come back to observing ourselves later. Now, your pelvis, see if you can feel that one side of your pelvis is pressing against the floor or weighted against the floor a little more than the other side of your pelvis. And it's just fine if you feel that, oh, I don't really feel a difference, that's fine. And then there's your lower back, the area just above your pelvis, which for most people, there's a little space there away from the floor. That's right. And maybe you feel that one side of your lower back is more away from the floor than the other side. And that's true for most people. And now slowly move your attention up your spine, just feeling one vertebra at a time, or one little area at a time, going slowly, and you'll feel something interesting. You'll feel that some places in your spine are pressing very clearly against the floor, and other places, well, they're pressing less clearly. Just slowly. For example, in the middle of your back, you can feel, for everybody, there's a place that's pressing back against the floor. And then you go up. That's right, using your attention, only your attention, feeling inside yourself. You feel, oh, yeah, now those vertebrae, that part of my spine is touching the floor less clearly. And then you come up to your neck and you feel, oh my gosh, behind my neck, there's a little space there. And again, this is true for everybody, where those parts of my spine are not touching the floor. And then there's the back of your head. And now move your attention to your right shoulder, where your right shoulder blade lies upon the floor. And then your left shoulder blade. That's right. And then you can feel one shoulder blade is lying closer to the floor. We're not trying to change anything. We're not trying to fix anything. You'll see these things will all improve without you trying to improve them. And then there's your right arm as it lies on the floor. And there's your left arm. That's right. Feel it. Do both hands rest upon the floor in the same way? Oh, usually for most people, maybe one hand, the palm is facing the floor, or one hand, the palm is facing the ceiling. One hand is pressed more into the floor. All right. Now, separate your legs about shoulder width apart. And bring your left knee toward yourself. And that's right. And now turn yourself so that you're partially lying on your right side. Only a little bit, but you're partially lying on your right side, and your left knee is toward the ceiling. And you can extend your left leg. The knee can be bent, but you just have the leg, your foot pointed toward the ceiling. And now very slowly, but without rolling onto your side, move your left leg to the right and then bring it back. So you take your left leg to the right, just slowly, breathing simply, breathing easily. And then you come back and you pause. And then you do that again, just taking your left leg to the right. And you're not lying on your back, you're lying with the left side of yourself is lightened from the floor. It's a little bit away from the floor. That's right. So that you begin with the back of your pelvis on the left side being away from the floor. That's right. And now, as you do that, just observe what part of your left leg are you thinking of? Are you thinking of your left foot? Are you thinking of your left knee? That's right. Don't go too far, only a few inches or so. Just feel where you can reduce the effort from the inside of yourself, using your ability to feel yourself internally. Feel where you can do less. All right, please come back and just observe the feeling of your left leg compared to your right leg. If one leg feels longer or shorter. And now roll yourself just partially onto your left side. That's right. And now bring your left arm out to the side with your left palm facing the ceiling. And it's fine if your left knee is bent a little bit. And raise your right leg toward the ceiling. That's it. And now do the same thing, the same idea. Think of taking your right foot away from yourself to the left. That's it. And come back. You don't go far at all. So everybody can be successful here. You can have the knee bent if you need to. That's right. And you only go an inch or 2 or 3 at the most. That's it. And now you feel where you can reduce the effort in your jaw, in your chest. That's it. Just small. And now slowly, very slowly, begin to turn your head and eyes a little to the left. And the whole idea is that you not roll onto your left side, but that's right. You just move the leg that little bit to the left. It doesn't matter how small a movement you make. In fact, the slower and the smaller the movement, you'll see the more information is getting transmitted to your brain. Your left leg is long. That's right. Your left leg is long, and it can be bent a little because, of course, you're lying partially on your left side. All right, let's rest for a moment again, and you just observe if something feels different about the right side of your lower back, about your right leg compared to your left leg. We rarely pay attention to this kind of detail about ourselves, but you'll find that this is what our brain needs in order to make changes that are in our interests, on our behalf. And now roll partially onto your right side again. Stretch out your right arm to the right. Let your right knee be bent a little. Your left leg is straight now, more or less. And now bring your left arm toward the ceiling. So your left leg is long. And slowly now reach with you're partially on your right side, and now reach with your left arm in the same way that you were reaching with your left leg, so that you bring your left shoulder away from the floor. That's right. Just slowly, easily. It's a small movement, of course, But within that small movement, you can still feel that you're using effort that isn't necessary. Maybe you can soften your chest a little bit. That's right. It's fine for your left knee to be bent a little bit. That's it. And now as you reach with your left arm to the right, turn your head and eyes to the right and see if your left arm, the sensation, the feeling of your left arm becomes a little lighter. That's it. And rest for a moment. Bring your arm down. And just observe, did something change in the contact of your left shoulder blade with the floor? That was only maybe, I don't know, 5 movements. And now, again, roll partially onto your right side. Bring your left leg towards the ceiling and bring your left arm toward the ceiling. Both. And just slowly make a small movement of taking both your left arm, lengthening it to the right, and your left leg to the right. That's it. Just slowly and come back. So because you're lying partially on your right side, you have something to negotiate there. That's it. The left side of your back, from the middle of your spine to the left, is not lying on the floor. That's it. Just feel. Are you exhaling as you do the movement? Feel where you can relax your abdomen, your neck. And please come back and just rest for a minute. We've done some movements with our left side that we didn't do with our right side. Do you feel a difference? And now roll partially onto your left side. That's it. And lengthen your right arm toward the ceiling. Again, that's right. And your left arm is stretched out to the side, and your left knee can be bent. And now slowly lengthen. No, your right leg is straight. And just reach with your right arm to the left, meaning you bring your right shoulder blade away from the floor. That's right. Just slowly. What you're really interested in is not making a bigger movement. What you're interested in is feeling where you can do less work, because it's the unnecessary effort that actually compromises our balance. This is exactly what happens as we age, and you hear about or you feel the balance issues as you get older. Of course, there's many reasons that one can have concerns about their balance. That's right. Slowly. But one thing that happens as we get older is that we tend to stiffen ourselves. And that unnecessary effort then compromises the basic balance mechanisms that we have in our neck, our inner ear. Beautiful. All right, please rest for a minute. That's right. And our rests allow us the time to sense any potential changes that have happened. It may be that you feel, oh, something is different. I don't know quite what it is, but something is different. Or you feel, oh, my right shoulder blade, how did that happen? It's lying closer to the floor than a few minutes ago. Lie partially on your left side, turn yourself, you allow your left knee to bend a little bit, stretch out your left arm, your left palm facing the ceiling, and now raise both your right leg and your right arm, and go ahead and begin to move both of them in a very small movement without rolling onto your left side. That's it. It is a rolling movement. It is a turning movement, but it's not big. It's just very small. You could say it's right around your middle, right? If you lie partially on your left side and then you say, okay, this is from where I am to the middle. I'm sorry, to the left. And then you come back without rolling onto your back. That's it. And you make that little bit of turning easy and smooth and comfortable. See if you can soften your chest a little bit, your stomach. That's right. All right. That's marvelous. Please stop and stretch out for a moment. You see, we create the conditions in the way that we do the lesson. You could have the same sequence, but if you did the movements mindlessly, quickly, strongly, that wouldn't allow the time for your brain to synthesize new information. So we create the conditions in which your brain is able to be engaged with what we're doing. And it's that engagement and you're sensing yourself that creates information, literally creates new information and new pathways. All right, please lie partially on your right side, meaning about, I don't know, a third of the way towards rolling. And bring your left leg and your left arm toward the ceiling. Perfect. And you can relax your left wrist. And as I said, you don't have to have the left leg straight. It can be slightly bent at the knee. That's right. And now only move your left leg to the right. In other words, you keep your left arm where it is. That's it. And you move your left leg to the right. That's it. Think of your left heel as you do that. And now turn your head and eyes to the right also. So your left arm stays toward the ceiling. That's right. But you turn your head with the movement of your left leg. That's it. Now, that's good. Now try this. Keep your eyes in the middle, looking at the ceiling, and only let your head turn to the right. So you keep your eyes toward the ceiling. That's right. And your head can turn a little bit, not as much as before, of course. And you just feel where you can do less muscular work. Good. And now go ahead and take your leg to the right and let your head and eyes turn. Beautiful. And come back and rest. You'll see this is such a reliable and effective way of communicating with your brain that we don't have to do the movement 20 times. We don't have to repeat it. In fact, there's something in the doing the movement 4 or 5 times that engages our curiosity. There's a part of our brain that, hey, we could do that some more. Of course you could. Lean on your partially to your left, raise your right leg and your right arm toward the ceiling. That's right. And again, keep your arm stationary, fixed, and just take your leg to the left and allow your head to turn to the left also. That's right. So we're differentiating the movement of the leg and your arm. So your arm stays where it is. Good. And now, good. And now keep your eyes in the middle so that your head is inhibited from turning. You'll see the movement of the head gets smaller. That's right. If you find that you're holding your breath, just go a little more slowly. That's right. And now let your head and eyes turn with the movement together with the movement of your right leg to the left, thinking of your right heel. That's right. As if your right heel is the furthest away point of your right leg. Very nice. Please stop and just rest. You see, we engage our brain in such a way that there's anticipation. Your brain is wondering, well, what's the next variation going to be? So let's find out. Go ahead and turn partially onto your right side. Just partially. Stretch out your right arm, allow your right knee to be bent, and your left arm and your left leg toward the ceiling. That's right. And now slowly lengthen your leg to the right and turn both your head and eyes to the left. So you turn both your head and eyes to the left as you reach with your left heel, with your left heel to the right. Of course, again, you reduce your effort. We have no interest in how far we go. What you do have an interest in is How can I make this easier, simpler? Because of course, turning your head and eyes to the left, you feel it's inhibiting the movement of the leg a little bit. And now let your head and eyes go to the right with your left heel. You feel something is a little easier, a little lighter maybe. All right, come back and rest. Seeking improvement in this way is actually quite easy, because movement is the primary concern of our brain. And I don't mean movement in some other forms of I don't know, aesthetic forms or other exercise forms, not in that sense. It is the primary way that our brain learns. All right, lean partially onto your left side, raise your right leg and your right arm toward the ceiling. Stretch out your left arm, allow your left knee to be bent a little bit so you're comfortable. And again, you don't have to have your right leg absolutely straight. And now slowly take your right heel to the left. In other words, thinking of your leg, your right leg going to the left slowly as you turn your head and eyes to the right. Just what's easy. But in order to achieve that, you have to do it mindfully. You have to do it with awareness. Because to turn your head and eyes in the opposite direction as you take your leg to the left, it's not something that happens automatically. You have to use your intelligence, your consciousness to do it. And you have a lot more consciousness and capacity for awareness than you realize. And now let your head and eyes turn to the left with the movement of your right leg. That's it. And see if something feels, oh, yeah, it's 1 degree, 2 degrees easier. Good. And again, rest. You'll see we do so many variations, so many different combinations, that it doesn't matter when we only do the movement 3 or 4 times. And I would make the case that doing the movement 3 or 4 times mindfully and letting go of the unnecessary effort is much more valuable than doing the movement 10 times quickly and mindlessly. All right, please lie partially on your right side. That's right. And now slowly bring both your left arm and your left leg to the ceiling. That's right. And now reach to the right only with your left arm and turn your head and eyes to the left. That's it. Just slowly. That's it. There's no need to use more effort. In fact, what we would like to do when we encounter a difficulty, of course, turning your head in the opposite direction of your arm is more difficult. In other words, you don't we turn your head and eyes to the right at the same time as you take your left arm to the right. So, turn your head and eyes to the left, I'm sorry, at the same time as you reach with your left arm to the right. You have to do that with awareness, or you can't do it. You can, of course, you could turn the head first or turn the head after the arm, but to do them together, you have to be aware. You have to feel yourself. And feeling yourself actually enhances that communication between, that's right, our body and our brain. Beautiful. And now go ahead and allow your head and eyes to turn to the right as you reach to the right with your left arm. Beautiful. And rest a moment. Even now, with what we've done, if you were to sense your contact with the floor, the contact of your back with the floor, is something different? Does something feel more pleasant or more in contact? Lie partially on your left side. That's right. And raise your right arm and your right leg to the ceiling. And now go ahead and reach only with your right arm to the left. In other words, your right leg stays toward the ceiling, and turn your head and eyes to the right. Now, of course, we could make it a little more complicated, and you could turn your head to the right, but your eyes to the left as you reach to the left with your right arm. That's it. Slowly, though. Go slowly, and then you'll feel how you can inhibit that movement of your eyes, because of course your eyes normally, what? They go in the same direction as your head most of the time, not all the time. So turn your head and your eyes to the left when your head goes to the right and your arm goes to the left. Good. That's right. And now go ahead and reach with your right arm and let your head and eyes turn together. Yeah. Maybe go ahead and do all three. Take your right leg to the left, your right arm to the left, and your head and eyes. All three together. Still not lying on your left side, but you can feel, oh, something is smoother. Something is lighter, maybe. That's it. Very nice. All right, please rest. Lie partially on your right side, your right knee bent, your right arm out to the side, your right palm facing the ceiling, your left arm and your left leg toward the ceiling. That's it. Good. And now take both your left leg and your left arm to the right, but take your head and eyes to the left. So you move both your arm and your leg to the right while you move your head and eyes to the left. That's it. Slowly. As you exhale, as you feel where you can do less. Maybe you relax your jaw a little, let your mouth be open a little. That's it, just what's easy. And then again, everything together. That's right, your head, your eyes, your left leg, your left arm. You can feel your spine is turning. That's it. And rest for a minute. Lie partially on your left side. That's it. And your left arm out to the side, your left palm to the ceiling, your left knee bent a little tiny bit. That's right, just so you're comfortable. And your right arm and your right leg towards the ceiling. And now take both your right arm and your right leg to the left, but turn your head and eyes to the right. That's it. And again, see if you can open your mouth a tiny bit so that your jaw is relaxed, so your teeth are not touching. That's it. And just feel where you can do less. And now let everything turn together and see. That's it. Something, and think of your spine turning and your chest is turning. Your pelvis is turning. That's it. And please rest. And just observe the contact of your back with the floor. Something's different. Your shoulder blades, your spine, your lower back. Maybe your breathing feels different. Maybe you feel the movement of your lower abdomen as you inhale. It's amazing. It's amazing how quickly our brain can integrate this new, you could say, therapeutic information. All right. Now, do something interesting for a moment. Bring both legs and both arms toward the ceiling. Both legs and both arms, and your legs are separated. That's right. And relax your wrists. And now slowly, you partially tilt yourself to the left by lengthening your right arm and your right leg. You roll to the left a little bit. That's right. Your head and eyes can turn. Good. And now lengthen your left arm and your left leg to the right. And turn your head and eyes to the right. Good. And then come back through the middle and lengthen your left leg. Think of your left heel and that's it. And your left arm. And then you come back through the middle and lengthen your right leg and your right arm. Are you turning your head and eyes? That's it. and come back. Now, as you roll to the right, see if you can relax your right elbow and let your right elbow bend a little. That's right. And then as you roll to the left, see if you can relax your left elbow. That's it. We're still not lying on our side. We're still going, well, maybe a little bit more than before, but still it's a moving around your middle. That's it. You reach with one leg and one arm, and you relax the opposite elbow. Beautiful. Very nice. Now, can you turn your head and eyes in the opposite direction? What happens? Oh, it's completely different, isn't it? Maybe, that's right. Maybe if you go a little slower, you'll see you can work it out how to still roll to the left when your head and eyes go to the right, and how to still roll to the right when your head and eyes go to the left. That's right. Still breathing. Again, you'll see if you relax your jaw, your head will turn more easily. And now everything together again, and see if, oh, it's another degree or two lighter, easier, smoother, maybe even more pleasurable. That's right. All right, rest for a moment. And just observe your feeling of yourself, your sensation of yourself from internally. The movement of your lower abdomen as you inhale. All right. Again, bring both arms and both legs toward the ceiling and separate your legs. That's right. And now when you take your legs to the right, take your arms to the left. Try that a few times. Go slowly, go slowly. You take your arms to the right, meaning you lift your left shoulder. That's right. But you lift your right hip. So your right leg goes to the left and your left arm goes to the right. And then you do the opposite. Your right arm reaches to the left and your left leg reaches to the right. That's it. Now, funny thing, which way is your head going? Is your head going with your arms or with your legs? That's an interesting question. You try both ways. Try taking your head with your arms and feel. Go slowly again. And now take your head and eyes with your legs. Of course, that's more difficult. That's nice. And now work everything together. You reach with your left arm and your left leg to the right, and you reach with your right arm and your right leg to the left. Just easily, just smoothly, simply. That's it. Good. And your head and eyes. That's right. And maybe a little faster. That's it. And maybe even a little faster. Good. All right. Please stop. Stretch out your legs, bring your arms down. Would you say that your lower back is lying closer to the floor? And your shoulder blades? But not because I say they might be, but you feel for yourself. This is a primary concern for all of us, to learn to trust our sensations, to trust what we're feeling. And now very slowly bend one knee, stand the foot, bend your other knee, stand the foot, and slowly roll to your side. And then slowly you take your time and come to standing, but slowly just come to standing. Take your time. That's it. And then if you need something to hold on to stand up, don't hesitate to use something, but then come to standing and just observe again your feeling of yourself. Yeah, you don't need to do anything. You don't need to stretch anything or jiggle anything. Just observe. Do you feel differently than when we were last standing? Maybe. Do you feel taller? Do you feel as if your head is a little higher? And now, slowly, maybe just walk around for one moment and then come back. Just observe your feeling of yourself in walking. You feel something is lighter, something is easier, maybe. Or maybe that the back of your head feels more behind you. All right. And then once again, come to stand in the same place that you were standing at the very beginning, the very top of the lesson. You remember we did something in standing. That's right. And again, if you need to hold on to a chair, you can. And take both arms in front of yourself. Your legs are spread about shoulder width apart. And now go ahead and slowly turn yourself, all of yourself, to the left, your head and eyes and arms and pelvis, and feel. Where are you seeing on the wall now? Now both arms go, both arms turn. And now swing your arms to the right and see, where are you seeing on the wall now? Now, slowly, you'll find that when some of you turn to the left, you bring your weight onto your right leg. And some of you, when you turn to the left, bring your weight onto your left leg. So now go ahead and you'll find that if you bring your weight onto your left leg when you turn to the left, you get a little taller as you turn around your left leg. That's right. You can even let your right heel come away from the floor a tiny bit. That's right. And now try letting your weight go onto the back leg, your right leg, and you'll see you don't get taller. You don't get taller because your muscles have to contract unnecessarily. But if you let your weight come over your left leg and you turn around your left leg, you feel, oh, your spine gets, your head gets taller. Now do the same thing to the right. Turn to the right and bring your weight over your right leg. That's it. And feel what happens. Where do you see on the wall? And then if you let your weight come onto your left leg, what happens? You feel the whole thing gets, what would you call it? Constrained. That's right. All right, walk around for just a moment. And just observe your feeling of yourself. And please come back one last time. Now, you can think that the structure of the lesson that we just did lying on the floor was fairly simple, wasn't it? You could call it variations on a theme. That's certainly what Bach would have called it. And now we'll just do something just for the fun of it. Bring your arms in front of yourself. That's right. And go ahead and turn your chest and your pelvis to the left. Only turn your head and eyes to the right. That's right. And do that 3 or 4 times, just simply, just easily. That's right. Feeling where you can reduce the effort, where you can do less. And now go ahead and let your head and eyes follow your arms and see if something is different. Yes. Okay. Walk around for a moment. You see, everything that we do in the lesson is constructed in a very particular way to attract the attention of your brain. And come to stand one last time and go ahead and do the same thing to the right. Separate your feet about shoulder width apart and turn your head and eyes to the left as you swing your arms and chest and pelvis. Did I say that incorrectly? Yeah, as you swing your pelvis to the right, as you take your head and eyes to the left. That's right. And just do what's easy. Your eyes are looking what you could call the horizontal plane. Your eyes aren't going up or down. And now everything together, your head and eyes width. That's right. And now swing your chest and pelvis and arms to the left and to the right, both, and your head in the opposite direction. That's it. Beautiful. And when you swing your arms to the left, bring your weight onto your left leg. And when you swing your arms to your right, bring your weight onto your right leg. That's it. And again, everything together. And see, no, where are you seeing now? Can you see almost behind yourself, maybe? All right. Thank you very much. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining.